Hi there, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I thought I'd post another poetry in motion video similar to the last one. I'm an old guy now, and the 90-year mark is beginning to slowly pop up over the horizon. I'd like to avoid sailing in that direction, but the rudder poking out of my rear end is permanently jammed, and I have no choice. However, I'm not complaining, because not everyone lives to this age, and my life has been a blast. For transportation, I never learned how to drive a car, and had a lot of fun riding motorcycles. Oh yeah, they were great fun. I never did any wheelies or fancy stuff like that, but I had a lot of close calls just the same. Thinking back, I'm really lucky to be here now. Money-wise, I had a successful business for many years as a commercial artist. However, being a somewhat flaky artist, and although I worked very hard at it, like a lot of things in my life, I eventually let it slide. And physically, I hiked the West Coast Trail on Vancouver Island, BC, a couple of times, and you can watch a video of it on one of my recent posts. Now that was an adventure, especially the second time, when I became involved in a cougar attack. The little boy was very lucky to have survived. Plus, I lived on a sailboat, Dreamer 2, a 42-foot ketch, for many years. And while living in that boating world, after meeting Winston Bushnell, planning to sail the legendary Northwest Passage, I volunteered along with George Hone to become one of his crew. I also have a YouTube post regarding sailing the passage as well, where you can see many of my pen and ink sketches. But like I was saying, I'm an old dude now, and even if I wanted to, those sort of adventures are over. At this age, making it to the toilet can be quite an adventure, especially since cancer struck several years ago, and that part of my body just doesn't work the same as it used to. Clenching my butt cheeks while running stiff-legged must be a sight to behold, especially if I'm in a public place. Pretty hard to disguise when every step I make, I let loose a loud fart. It's like a drum roll. However, despite all that, I'm still able to do a lot of physical work around our 50 acres of semi-wilderness land. And a nice cold beer afterwards is always a wonderful treat. Loves my beer. And if I'm in a lot of pain, then a gummy or two is a great remedy. This is my third Poetry in Motion video, and I'm not sure if I will do any more, even though they are fun to produce. I self-published a book on poetry titled Myself to Blame. I mean, what the heck, I made a lot of mistakes when I was younger, and oh yeah, even at this old age, I still make them. Forgetfulness seems to be at the head of the list now. I sometimes go into a room, stand there for a moment, and wonder why I went in there the first place. This Poetry in Motion poem is titled, for lack of a better title, Old Man. I've hiked the land, I've sailed the sea, and have seen many wondrous things that made my heart skip a beat. But I can't do that anymore, because I'm so freaking old, my heart might stop. hardly a great poem, but it's meaningful to me, and who knows, maybe some other old dudes. Not much of a future lies before me, but I have a lot of rich memories and had a lot of laughs. Like I said, my life has been a blast. And hey, if you would like to see any more of these poetry in motion videos, just let me know. Click a like and maybe subscribe to my channel. Plus, if you're interested, I might even do one of yours if it's not too wordy. Cheers, eh?